Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching Crypto Hamster channel. Today, I will, of course, look at the price of the Bitcoin, some altcoins. Also, I will share with you some of my thoughts about the nature of the correction of the assets, and I will show you some interesting service with shared portfolios. And I also made one for me, maybe some interesting altcoins there. Please have a look. Let's go.
Turn up. Let's go.
Well, guys, we had some drop in the price of Bitcoin recently. We had like 7,120, 30, and then we have had like quite sharp decrease until almost 6.8 thousand. And after that, there was a huge spike until almost 7,000, and now we're continuing to trade around this area. It is interesting that actually this was like the line of the support for this channel, so we broke it down, and then now we're bouncing off this trend line again, but from the other sides, from the bottom of that. So I wouldn't really expect it to be something like important trend line, but still it's interesting to observe. Also, of course, because of this huge drop in Bitcoin, most of the altcoins had significant drop in price, but at this point of time they started to rise again, and a lot of them rose quite a bit. So probably it's again the situation when the Bitcoin rises, altcoin also rise. Although since those rises are not that huge, so altcoins don't really dump on the huge spikes of Bitcoins, which is really nice in my opinion. So, and speaking about this, let's actually say a couple of words about what will happen now. So if we look at the daily chart, so we can see that in principle we are approaching the trend line of this triangle which we had from the February spike, and then it goes like this. So probably the price which may be expected at this third bump is like $7,400, $500. So it wouldn't be surprised that the price will hit this level and then go down again like this. So, and then again, as we discussed before, somewhere in the end of September, we may see some panic sale at the bottom, especially in the news of the ETF will be rejected, and then finally we'll have the bull rally eventually. Interesting to see that longs increased at this time, but not that much. However, if we look at the shorts decreased significantly. So it's like 1/3 of them were down, and probably this is the time when the price wouldn't be that much driven by the number of shorts or longs. So it is mostly for the like a general expectation, general sentiment of the market players. So in my opinion, we still have a room to grow. So also we have like nice momentum. And in my opinion, to be honest with you, we didn't see such a smooth and like a steady growth of Bitcoin price for a while. Like if we look at the previous growth, it was like this spike or this spike or this spike, or of course like this area, and a lot of huge volatility. But this calm and gradual growth with some retracement, minor ones, we didn't see from the last year, I would argue. And although the time scale is quite small, but still it is an interesting observation. Moreover, we had like this area with a huge volume around here, which serves as a foundation for this new growth. So I would expect that we will go higher and higher and higher. Of course, we have like 3 red candles for the days here, but this is the time for the reversal of the current trend. So actually we did it already like from 6,940 or 30. Now it's a bit higher, so I expect that will go to the next rise, especially the fact that altcoins probably reached their peaks already. So now there will be correction for the altcoins, and that will be beginning of the Bitcoin rise. Speaking of the altcoins, the one which is most interesting to me now, just because of the a bit weird reason, but still, do you remember Walton? And this was the line which I drew, I don't know, a week before from now, which I wanted it to go along this line, and I hope that it will make same behavior as before. Well, I don't think that actually it will make such a huge jump, but who knows? It's still October is pretty far away from now. We'll see. But so far, it's actually tracing it very nicely. So you see, I didn't change it. Believe me. So this is you can check the previous videos. But interestingly, so it broke this wage, and now it is following this line perfectly. We'll see. We'll see how will it go, how it will go. But hopefully something like this, because it will be a very nice sign for the future altcoin cycle. And again, speaking about the altcoins, a lot of them gained a lot of the profits recently. Again, this is 24 hours Dogecoin, Nano, OneChain, Icon, Ion, Bluzelle. Well, okay, Bluzelle. So Raiden and many Substratum again. So actually, a lot of those which I mentioned to you before. VeChain is here, and also I would say that now they're starting to be correcting. So probably we will see a little bit retracement downwards, so be careful. Maybe you need to put some stops and rebuy them eventually. And speaking about the corrections, I just want to share with you this tweet which I made recently. So the idea is that there is sort of a semi-empirical rule which is called 20-60-20 rule, and there is scientific papers about that explaining the basis and math and everything about it. So the basic idea is that a lot of the social processes can be described by this rule, and the point is that if, let's say, some event or some decision should be made, and we have 100 people thinking about this decision, 60 of them will be neutral, so they wouldn't decide one or another, yes or no. 20 will decide no, and 20 will decide yes. And this is basically what was happening with the correction period. So when the price reached certain level, very high, then at some point people will understand that maybe there will be the price may be too high, maybe it's nice to sell already. So 20% of them would decide that yes, it's time to sell, and they do this. 20%, well, actually all of them bought before, so 20% will sell, 20% will keep for hoping it will go higher, and 60% wouldn't know what to do. They will look at these two parts. So as soon as 20% will sell, another 20% from the remaining 60 will also sell. That's why the correction is sort of gradual, has a gradual nature. So again, more 20% from the remaining amount will sell, and then eventually it will reach 50% of people. And because it's not the equal amount of the investment for all of them, it would mean that it's not exactly 50% all the time. And of course, this is not 100% a correct rule for all the cases, but just rough estimation. It means that it's natural, essential for human nature to follow these trends, and probably every time when we see some huge spike of any altcoin or even Bitcoin, we will have this retracement eventually within the range of 50%. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Actually, it's followed by the history of Bitcoin, which has 70-60% drops after every huge increase in price. And this is another thing which I was going to share with you. You see that historically we can look at the chart of Bitcoin for like 3-4 years, and those three colored lines are simple moving averages for 50, which is green, 100, which is yellow, and 200 days, which is red. And at the period of the time, at the point of the time when we had sort of maybe reversal, I would say reversal from the bears to bulls, we had this golden cross of the 1500 days moving averages, and also when it was when it comes to red line, when it comes to 100 days moving averages, it's sort of flattening out, and then we had them very close to each other, and then they changed their position. So there's a flipping between them. So here we actually see similar case. So we had this golden cross recently, and also this red line start to flattening out. So actually the shape of this is very similar to what we had here. So I would expect this is one of the signs for the bear market turns to be bullish. And actually also the volume you can see here is picking up. So in a huge, more mature markets, this is a good sign in my opinion. So then what I would like to show you is this. So this is the Bitcoin dominance, which changes with time, just a coin market cap data. So you can see that Bitcoin dominance rises, falls, rises, and maybe also will fall again. So there are two interesting things, that rises have the same slopes, and falls maybe also have the same slopes, because like sort of constant, and the rises for altcoins also have the same slopes. So falls are the same slopes as well. On the other hand, rises for Bitcoin and altcoins are the same slope, but different slope for the falls. So it means that they actually are like out of the phase. And since while the period for this cycle is the same for Bitcoin and altcoins, last time you can see that maximum for Bitcoin was later than the minimum point for altcoins. So you may expect the same thing to happen. And since we had this altcoin started to picking up, I mean in dominance, then maybe Bitcoin will continue to fall, and that was a bit later because of the this previous delay. So maybe we'll see the same picture. So eventually in October we will have like the new peak for new maximum for the altcoin dominance and new deep for Bitcoin dominance. So we'll see how it will go. And finally, what I'm going to share with you is this. So this is site cryptocompare.com. So it allows you to make a sort of a virtual portfolio. You can add any coins there. So you can log in and make portfolio, my portfolios, etc. Make it public or private. So either some people will see it or not. So, and you can add many coins and then just click the button. Where is it? Oh, because it's not mine now. I just have the link for the service. So there's like a yellow button, like this button with the add coin, and you can add the coins. You can specify the price you buy it, time you buy it, number of coins, and it will just save it. Is like in your portfolio, blockfolio. So this is the same. The thing this I did. This I made today. Like maybe, I don't know, 8 hours ago, and I picked my coins which I expect to be growing within like next months or maybe even years, and I try to scale them, like the portion of them in the whole portfolio according to my expectations, according to risk management and everything like that. So this is a virtual portfolio. I don't have these coins, but it's just for tracking the market in my case, and tracking the coins which I think that will rise eventually. So it's a nice way to see how correct I am in that way. So you can look at this portfolio actually. So it's public, and I will leave the link in the description to this video, so you can check all the coins. It's pretty many, quite a lot of coins. So, and Bitcoin is here too. And actually, for the time when I holding this, I already have like, if now it's already 5. I was going to say 3, but it was 3. Now it's already 5% of increase. And actually, it shouldn't be that. I think it's a little bit off. So it's like 20 hours profit loss, and this is the actual profit loss. So it's like $800 for $31,000, or a little less than $31,000. But you can see actually the percentage increase in here. And of course there was like Walton, which got 10%, and some other like Data, I had 22%, and some others. But the major point is here also that not so many are in red. Interesting to see. So maybe you want to play with that as well. So far, I would like to ask you to subscribe to the channel if you didn't yet, and wish you a nice trade. And just a reminder, all of the things which I say is not a financial advice, and please make your due diligence and your own research. Don't make your decision based on some random guy on YouTube. Make your decisions only on your own. So please leave a like, subscription, push a bell button. So I see you guys all tomorrow in the next episode. Goodbye.